all the flirting and stuff, it's all fun and games. But then you get to like 8th grade or high school, and it's basically like as soon as you become a woman, the world will tell you, ladies, look, now that you become a woman, you got something the boys like now. Better than those notes get shoved into you, got that body of yours. Oh, you can give it to guy, he's gonna like you more. Girls always, they begin with this idea, okay, let me get this straight. So long as I'm technically not having sex with him, I'm being good. So hooking up and making out, that's not a big deal. Sending a picture, oh, that's not a big deal. Doing this with a guy, as long as I love him, it's not a big deal. Why not? Oh, yeah, why is that not a big deal? Oh, yeah, because those other girls, they're worse than I am. And when it's all said and done, the girl convinces herself this priceless gift of her body, oh, that's not a big deal. Something dies in the girl. She could go from boy to boy to boy, she never sits still. She's so busy trying to find a boy, she loses herself in the process. Something starts to die in the girl. And she could think, well, I'm free. I'm not doing what my mom wants, and I remember this. Like, I would do stuff with girls, and I'd be like, I'm not doing church wants, I'm not doing God wants, I'm not doing what my mom wants, I'm free. Then I always think afterwards, yeah, you're so free. You're so free, how come you're empty after? You're so free, how come you can't look her dad in the eyes whenever you go over that house? That's freedom? And it leads to the point where a girl will think, Jason, look, you have nice stories, but you don't get it. Look, Jason, I'm not a virgin. Or Jason, I have my virginity taken from me. Or something bad happened to me when I was a little girl. And what good guy, like you're all talking about, as if I know any would even want a girl like me that's been through what I've been through. Jason, look, I'm damaged goods, it's too late, and once it's gone, it's gone. Okay? I'll tell you one girl I know, 2 years old, first memory, dad abusing the mom. Dad was an alcoholic, drug addict, cheater, in and out of prison, divorces and gone. He's one of these guys, male enough to get a girl pregnant, but not man enough to be a daddy, so she's raised no father. She gets to high school. She doesn't know how a gentleman should treat a lady. Football player asks her out. They start dating, and he says to her, honey, I've never felt this way about a girl before. I love you. And for her, those words were magic. She never heard that at home. And she said, well, I love you too, Reuben. He said, if you love me, you'll show me. She knew what that meant, so she went to her girlfriends. She said, Reuben wants to start doing this and that. What do you guys think? They said, you like him, right? She goes, well, yeah, I like him. And they said, it's not a big deal. Everybody's doing it. Don't be a prude. As long as you feel ready, just get it over with. So she figured, yeah, it's not a big deal. At the age of 15, she lost her virginity, thinking they'd be forever in love. She said, in all actuality, all respect was thrown out the window. But she said, after a while, man, he didn't want to spend time with me anymore. He's basically spending the time with my body. Because when a girl is getting used, dude, she knows it. She tries to distract herself, but she knows that there's no peace. He lost respect for it. They start fighting more. Because every time they're together, it's like it's all he wanted. And she'd give him sex for the sake of feeling loved. And he'd just give her love for the sake of getting sex. And eventually, they broke up. And she said, I'll never forget the day he walked away for the last time. She said, all I can think is that guy is leaving with something that never belonged in the first place. Now I'm never going to get it back. Not a virgin now. It's the whole point of waiting for marriage. Kind of late for me. Sort of cycle these relationships. She got to be a junior on campus, biggest stud at school last year, captain of basketball, football teams. And he said to her, I have never felt this way about a girl before. I love you. She said, I love you too, Andre. He goes, if you love me, you'll show me. So she goes back to the girlfriends. She goes, now Andre wants to start doing it. What do you guys think? And they said, look, let's set standards. Let's not sleep with our boyfriends for 6 months. If he can hold out no sex for that long, then I know he loves me, and then we'll sleep together. And now she looks back and thinks, 6 months? 6 months is the price I put on my body. 6 months of his time, attention, phone calls, that's love. So he held out for 6 months. They started sleeping together. Now he really lost respect. He started cheating on her, abusing her, physically abusing her. He beat the girl unconscious 3 times in front of other guys. Weren't even man enough to step in and protect her, emotionally abusing her. You're so fat and stupid and ugly. Stupid, she got straight A's in college. Fat and ugly. The girl's a kickboxer, voted the prettiest girl in the high school of 3,000 students. But he had her convinced she was fat and ugly. She was miserable. She said, those Saturday nights, all my friends would say to me, oh, it's all fun and games. She said, yeah, you wake up the next morning, fun and games are over. I woke up hating myself. She said, I'd sit in my bathroom, flipping over my pregnancy test, scared to death. But then I go to school that morning, the biggest mask on my face. I'm so happy with my life. Put a mask on for my parents, one for church, one for the boys, one for my friends, one for myself. She said, I was so sick, I don't know any way out. Her mom found her birth control pills in her purse. Said, look, you're going to a chastity talk. She said, no, I'm going to your stupid sex talk. I heard those before. Mom's like, I don't care, you're going. Forces her. And I don't know who gave her this talk, it wasn't me. But she said, that guy got up there, and the 1 hour I just sat still, she said, my life did a 180. She said, that guy was honest, blunt, and real. He didn't judge any of us. But she said, you know, it felt like he took my hand out of the audience and walked through my whole life with me. He had done all that I had done, sex, smoking, drinking. But she said he had something I didn't have, and I wanted it back. He wouldn't ashamed himself. It was a double life. He had a backbone. I wanted that. So after the talk, she went up to him. They talked for a long time. She took his advice to start over. She went to the sacrament of reconciliation and got a clean soul. And then she wrote the list of 60 things she dreamed of in a future husband. Why never again would she settle for less. And then that weekend the guys called her up. Hey girl, wanna hook up? Girl in Andre's house. She wasn't stupid, she knew what they wanted. So for the first time ever, she said no. Stayed home a little lonely, and she wrote down her first love letter to her future husband. I said no to them tonight out of love for you. I'm respecting my body this night out of respect for you. I can't wait for the day we're gonna meet with all my hopes and prayers and dreams, and she signs it. Next weekend they call her back. Hey girl, where you been? Trying to be too good for us? They try to make her feel guilty for taking care of herself for once. She'd turn them down again, another love letter. And every time she was tempted to go back that life, she'd read the old letters and write a new one. And she got stronger. The stack of letters got thicker and thicker and thicker. Now the reason I know all this stuff about her is because she's the girl who gave me every single one of those letters on our honeymoon when I married her 9 years ago. This girl's my wife, my bride, mother of my kids. You imagine how grateful I am? She started waiting for me. What if she heard that talk in high school and just blew it off? Chastity, abstinence, pff, what a joke, not for me. You think I ever would have met her? You think our marriage would exist? Do you think the little baby girl that we just had 7 weeks ago would exist? And it was cool when we found out we were pregnant, specifically her. You go to the